Good morning, Huerta Santana. Good afternoon, good evening. I'm Joseph, your teacher, and today we're going to do our virtual extraescolares English class for Cambridge PET B1. In these sessions for this week, we're going to go over reading and writing. In this video, we're going to go over reading for test number 4 that you're going to have in your email. Let's begin. So, part one, you see, read the instructions, take your question sheet, read the instructions. You see at the top, it says, choose the best option for each question. What are you going to do? In part 1 of the reading, you're going to choose the best option. Read the question, read the sentence, the message that's in the poster or the sign on the left, and circle A, B, or C for the correct answer. Let's move on to part 2. We're going to talk about part 2, and we're going to use part 2 as an example for how to complete parts 2, 3, 4, 5 for reading test 4. Let's begin. As always, we're going to do 4 things when we're doing our reading exam. We're going to do, first thing, take your watch, and what you're going to do is, when you begin your reading exam, you're going to time yourself and give yourself 45 minutes to complete the whole reading exam. The first thing we have to do is skim and scan. So please go to your test for part 2 reading, and we're going to look at number 1 together. I'm going to start reading for you. The instructions say, for each question, choose the correct answer. The people below all want to visit an ice cream factory with their families. On the other page, there are descriptions of 8 ice cream factories. Decide which factory would be the most suitable for each person. So on one side, on one page, we have 5 candidates. And on the other page, we have 8 options. We have to read the candidates, skim and scan and read the options, and then we have to find, from these 8, we only have to choose 5 options to go with the 5 candidates, which means you'll have 3 that we are not going to use. So the 3 we're not going to use. Okay? So, let's do a practice round together for part 2. This practice round is going to serve as an example for the rest of the parts of the reading. Let's begin. This candidate is next to number 6, and it says, Sandro wants to visit a factory where they'll organize something special for his birthday, and where he'll see everything that's involved in producing ice cream. His parents want to spend some time outdoors during their visit. Now, the first step we have to do for all the reading parts, same technique, same strategy. Step 1, skim and scan. Now let's do this together and skim and scan this part, this paragraph, and together right now we're going to underline important information. Number 1, skim and scan, which means por encima, which means go over with your eyes and read quickly. Then you're going to underline important information. Let's do that now. If the paragraph says, Sandro wants to visit a factory where they'll organize something special for his birthday and where he'll see everything that's involved in producing ice cream. His parents want to spend some time outdoors during their visit. When we underline important info, we only want to underline 2 to 3 things per paragraph. This symbol is the symbol for a paragraph, which we're going to see in the writing video. That's going to be next. Underline important info. Let's do that together. So if you were by yourself, what would you underline? Part 2, reading number 6. Next to that is a picture of a young boy. His name is Sandro. And I'm going to underline important info with you. I would underline the following. Take your pencil and underline with me. Something special for his birthday. Something special for his birthday. Those 5 words count as one thing. It doesn't matter the number of words. 5 words count as one thing. We're going to underline that. Something special for his birthday. Producing ice cream. Underline. Producing ice cream. And the third thing we're going to underline in this paragraph, spend some time outdoors. Spend some time outdoors. Now you see, there are more words than 2 or 3, but we underlined 2 or 3 important things in the paragraph. Now the next step is to take our 5 candidates, underline important info for the 5 candidates, underline important info for 5 candidates, and then underline important info for all 8 options. And once we have underlined important info for the 5 candidates and for the 8 options, now what we're going to do is we're going to compare and contrast. We're going to see what is similar and what is different between the 5 candidates and the 8 options. The reason we underline important info is so that when we compare and contrast, we don't take as much time. It goes fast. You see the important info right away, you compare and contrast right away, and you can then move on to the step number 4, which is answer the questions. Now, step 1, skim and scan. All 5 candidates and all 8 options. Step 2, underline important info. How do we do that? We read each paragraph and we underline 2 to 3 important things per paragraph. If the paragraph is composed of 2 to 3 sentences, I'm only going to underline 2 to 3 important things. That could be 3 words, 4 words, 5 words, 10 words, depends. Step number 3, compare and contrast. I already underlined important info, and now I'm going to compare and contrast the 5 candidates with the 8 options. Step number 4, I'm going to answer questions. Understood? Let's go on right now. Each of you do reading part 2. Okay, before I leave you, we're going to go over, before I leave you today, we're going to quickly read through the instructions for part 3, and for part 4, and for part 5. So, part 3 is very similar. We have a big text. We have to skim and scan, underline important info, 2 to 3 things for each paragraph. In part 3, we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. In each paragraph, we're only going to underline 2 to 3 things that are important. And now we go on to part 4. Part 4 is very similar. Part 4, you have a big text, which are 3 paragraphs, 2 to 3 things in each paragraph, and you have to place the options A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H in each space. Move on to part 5. Part 5 is a text. This text has 3 paragraphs. Once again, 2 to 3 things in each paragraph. And we have options A, B, C, D. And you're going to circle the correct option. Now, this year, in the 2020 version we have part 6 of the reading. In this part, you have to choose one word to fit the blank. This part of the reading exam is the most difficult part. So, good luck. And now, in the next video about writing, we will go over how to do the writing portion for Test 4 PET B1. Goodbye.